I thought I'd come out a little bit earlier today to try and get a video of the 3 green stalks that I have on my front deck, the north side of my house. It's going to be another 110-degree day, so I wanted to show you how well they hold up to the heat. I do water them every morning, and then I check again every night. I did water them yesterday morning and last night just to make sure. If any pocket is looking a little bit more wilty than it should in the heat, I will water per pocket too, just to make sure. This blue one was supposed to be a food specific one, and at some point my plan just fell apart. But this was going to be a sauce and salsa Greenstalk. I was watching Yellow Door Homestead, and she had a tower that was dedicated strictly to potato and leek soup, and I thought that was so cool because you could do a salsa tower, you could do a sauce tower, you could do a chili tower, you could do whatever your favorite meal is. If you only had one Greenstalk, whatever your favorite meal is, you could plant that tower for that specific meal. I think that's a great idea, especially if you're just getting into gardening or Greenstalks. On the bottom here, I have onions. They are starting to bulb up pretty nice. That's a Walla Walla in there. That's a white star. Here's a candy. This one is getting shaded out by this big, huge tomato. I believe this is a bush early girl. Look at all of those tomatoes on there. This is either a bush early girl or an Italian Roma. I'm not quite sure. Find the tag in there. 4th of July. I was wrong. Now, 4th of July is a tried and true for me. They are always the first ones to set fruit and the first ones to ripen. I never get them by the 4th of July like they claim, but that's okay. I've got tomatoes in here. I've got some peppers in here. Some of these are container friendly peppers, but most of what I plant in here are just regular things of whatever I would plant in my garden in the back. I will do some trellising to keep, I gotta get the trellis ready to get this tomato up so it doesn't shade out the other things. Up here I've got some jalapenos. These are jalapenos that are designed for a container. And I was worried that the fruits were going to be small, but they are not. And they are very prolific. Look at all of those. I've got some Italian Marconis in here. I've got bush early girls. These are Georgia Flame. I've got some bush early girl 4th of July and Italian Romas in here. I don't see any other tomatoes just on the 4th of July. I've got a regular, sorry guys. I've got a regular bell pepper in there. This one on the bottom, I have a couple of tomato plants. I've got, if you can see it in there, I've got some celery in there. This is a San Marzano. This is the bush early girl. Look at that. And then on the other 4 pockets on the bottom, I have potatoes. They are doing really good. Now in the heat, by mid-afternoon, These potatoes are going to be all wilty and look like they should be pulled out, but as soon as it cools off, they pop right back up and look good. I've got some eggplant in here. I've got a couple of bush variety cucumbers in here. We'll see how those do, how they taste, I guess. Oh, and also in here I have two pockets with pinto beans in there. I thought if I get enough, I can try and make some homemade refried beans to go with the salsa and tacos. And the one thing I wanted to show you on here somewhere, where did it go? I have a pretty good sized eggplant. Here it is. Look at that. These tiers, this tier right here, the whole tier is cauliflower. I have yet in all these years to be able to grow a head of cauliflower or a head of broccoli. I think it's because our weather goes from 60 degrees to 110, back down to 60. Now we're back up to 110, and it happens overnight. And I don't think anything really has the ability to adjust. These brassicas are a cool weather crop, so I don't think a 60-degree change in temperature is good for them. But I keep trying. This tower here is kind of a mishmash. This is a geranium kiss. It's a container tomato, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. It's got a lot of blooms. It's starting to form some tomatoes on it. The growth habit is just a little odd to me, but we'll see. Got some celery growing in here. This is doing wonderfully. Some more celery, onions. These are looking great, actually. They are red wing. The second tier, I've got some basil, some lemon basil. I can't wait for that to start to be able to harvest off of that. Get a handful, break it up a little bit, put it in some cold water in the fridge. Fresh, cold lemon basil water. It's just delicious. More celery. Here, this must be, I'm thinking, 4th of July. Yep. Another 4th of July. And then down here, I've got a bush delicata squash. Ooh, it is starting to get some flowers. Excited about that. I need to get the trellis up here too. You can either do the trellising systems that Greenstalk has available, or you can get inventive, use scrap of wood, some twine, some dowels. I've done that. And over here I've got some cucumbers, also looking really good. That looks like an Italian Roma. Got a couple growing there. Yeah, I've got some cumin. First year trying that. We'll see how that goes. I think the last 2 days of heat really took its toll. Got some onion chives growing there. They're not doing the greatest. Another pot of pina. The plant looks kind of small, but we're getting peppers on there. So there's a brief little look at my green stalks. You can grow anything in these. Out of anything, this is my favorite gardening type. Watering is easy, no weeds, easy peasy.